Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Saturday and we've got to talk about the Skeleton Crew trailer that has dropped. So let's jump right into it. Alright, so Skeleton Crew trailer has dropped, and this official trailer gives us a little bit more insight into what this series actually is about. And we kind of knew already that they promised us Goonies in space. And essentially that is what the trailer gives off. The trailer gives that off and a few other things. And I'm going to break it down kind of, tell you what happens in the trailer, and then we're going to talk about how this makes me feel as a movie fan. So basically when the trailer opens up, we see that this little kid is looking up at the sky, and he's looking up at his ceiling. And when he looks up at his ceiling, we see these ships hanging from his ceiling. That tells us he's dreaming of adventure. He wants adventure more than anything else. And he gets it. He goes on this bus and meets all these other kids at this school. And then, of course, he gets into trouble, because he goes off to explore. And once he goes off to explore, he finds what he thinks is a Jedi temple. He immediately tells the other kids he's found something in the woods, and they go out in search of it. And what they find is this temple he's talking about, only it's not a temple, it's a ship. And the ship ends up taking off, and they go into space. On this adventure, they are now lost in space, not knowing where they're going. And they end up, we get this montage of a few different places that they could be. And I imagine we see 2 or 3 different planets within this trailer. But then all of a sudden, we meet Jude Law's character. Well, Jude Law seems to be force sensitive, because all of a sudden he's using the force, or what appears to be the force, and this little kid turns to him and announces, "You're a Jedi." Now that's important, because that kind of lets us know that, hey, this might actually have another Jedi in it. Which, okay, if they go that route. I mean, I didn't think there was going to be a Jedi or lightsabers in this, but am I disappointed if there is? No. But that's kind of where the trailer ended, once they meet Jude Law's character, and we know that he's some kind of force user. This trailer looks very promising, because it does have that vibe. It really does maintain the vibe of Goonies. Only here's the other thing. Me, as an 80s movie fan, as a movie fan in general who loves 80s movies, I saw a couple other nice little references in there too. It kind of gives off all sorts of Amblin stuff. E.T. is definitely something else that you kind of get from it, which is kind of ironic, because E.T. is actually canon in the Star Wars universe. Not E.T. the movie, mind you, but it could be. That's a whole nother video for another time, some deep dive video about the lore of Star Wars that we may actually never get to. But I will tell you this, E.T. appears in Star Wars at one point, when we see the Senate, and we see all the different alien races there. E.T.'s race is there. We're not going to get to see E.T. in the series, but what we will get is this very Amblin feel, this very nice Goonies vibe. And then also, if you've ever seen the movie Explorers, these kids want to go on an adventure. They want to go out exploring, because the one kid has a dream that there are aliens out there that they can meet. And he believes they're calling to him. So they build a spaceship, and when they build this spaceship, they actually go up into space in the spaceship. Now, mind you, their spaceship is really, really small, and this show kind of gives me that vibe in a way of these little kids kind of wanting to go on this adventure, not knowing what's out there, the same way that they do in the movie Explorers. They don't know what they're going to find. They actually don't know. And this trailer has that feel. This trailer has that sort of vibe. In addition to that whole Goonies vibe and the E.T. vibe that you get from it, I'm down for it because as a TV show, this is going to be very interesting. Getting to explore this whole concept of these kids trying to find adventure and what dangers are out there in the galaxy for them once they do. And will they actually be able to ever get home from where they are? We don't know the answer to this question, and it really makes it interesting. Now, one thing that I saw in the trailer that really excited me was there seems to be some sort of little bar like the Cantana scene in Star Wars, and we actually get to see some Jawas, and we get to see this little owl-like alien. We get to see all of these types of creatures floating around in there, hanging out. And that's something that always excites me. Then the school itself has a lot of aliens. So when you're looking at the beginning of it and he's going to the school, there are a lot of aliens in this thing and it looks amazing. I always say that Star Wars is about space travel, aliens, and lightsabers. And that basically, if you're giving me the space battles, the aliens, and the lightsabers, I'm going to be happy. And this looks like it delivers on at least two of those with the possibility of delivering on the third. And it's that third that kind of worries me just a little bit because I wonder to myself if Jude Law being a Jedi is going to be exciting or not, because on one hand you do have a lot of Jedi that exist out there right now within the Star Wars universe. You have a lot of Jedi during this time period that they're talking about, and we don't want all of these Jedi running around, meaning that, the whole thing with hunting down Jedis and murdering them all kind of goes out the window if every 2 seconds we're meeting a brand new Jedi. However, it also raises an interesting question because the way Jude Law describes his character doesn't sound very Jedi-like. He had kind of said his character uses quick wit and to get out of things, and the way he makes it sound more of a scoundrel type of character or a trickster. Maybe he's not actually a Jedi but knows how to use the Force a little bit, which I don't have a problem with either. Now, either way they go here, it seems like this series is going to be different. It actually seems to have a pretty high budget. And the budget to this show actually looks a lot higher than The Acolyte. It looks a lot more Star Wars-like in some ways and a lot less Star Wars-like in others, but the budget looks insane. And that's something that I think is going to really help to make the series good, because when you have these characters and these characters, you're putting these young characters in danger of pirates and treasure hunting or whatever, you're going to have a fun time. And this show seems like it's going to be that throwback to the 80s. And also, I would be remiss if I didn't also suggest the Ewok movie, because the Ewok movies, the Ewok adventure movies, really did have that vibe too in a lot of ways. Sure, they aren't fondly remembered by some people, but the people who watched them as kids probably still very fondly remember those movies. And that's kind of what this gives vibes of, is something that if you're watching as a kid, you're probably going to actually have good feelings about this later. And it also ensures that there will be new Star Wars fans learning more about the Star Wars mythos, about the Star Wars universe. And that's something that is exciting to think about as well. So when I look at the series and the vibe that it gives off, I'm sort of excited about the concept, about this whole feel that they're giving. And I'm curious to see this show now. And it comes out kind of around Christmas time. So it's going to be one of those days where maybe a lot of people are off for that time period. You know, and when people are off for that time period, maybe they actually start to watch this show. And if it has its entire run dropped in one night, maybe they binge watch it and then don't think about it. But more than likely, they're going to do what they've been doing, where they run an episode every week. And I'm okay with them doing that as well. I think that actually will serve this series in a good way. Because when you're thinking about something that people can watch weekly, I find that shows that air everything all at once kind of get binge watched and forgotten about. Whereas shows that you watch and you have to wait for the next week, there's something exciting about that. But that's where I'm going to leave it off to you guys. I want to know what you guys think. If you saw this trailer, did you like this trailer? Did you think that this was fun? Did it give the same 80s adventure vibes that it gave me in terms of young kids going on an insane adventure with all sorts of danger? And what do you think seeing the first look of Jude Law's character in this series? As always, we really do want to hear from you guys, so make sure you're leaving us that comment in the comment box below, letting us know what you think. Also, don't forget to share this video with all of your friends. They're going to want to be a part of this conversation as well. Make sure you hit that like button. It's free. It helps the channel, and we really do appreciate it. Then Miko says we need more subscribers, and you don't want to disappoint Miko. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell while you're down there so you don't miss a single video we do. Then friends, at the end of the day, I know it, you know it, and Miko knows it. Fandom is family.